Internet, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
And this is Unpopular Culture, the only show on the internet that welcomes being grabbed by the pussy. Only by Hillary Clinton, though. I like amateurs, and I think Donald Trump has gone pro at this point, so.
Right, I prefer it as well.
Yeah, this week we're talking about a myriad of things. Several trailers have come out. We're going to talk about those. Star Wars Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which is a little bit redundant. The third trailer, I want to say, came out for that.
Yeah.
3? Is this how 3 works? There you go. 3. The first trailer for Saban's Power Rangers. And I think Jake and I have some interesting thoughts about that.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Iron Fist, the trailer for that came out at New York Comic-Con last week, right after we did our New York Comic-Con episode, actually. So, bad timing, guys. Maybe inform us next time.
We'll have to wait till Sunday's next Comic-Con.
Yeah. And then we have some Harry Potter news, which Warner Brothers is just not going to stop sucking that sweet, sweet J.K. Rowling teat, nor should they. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And then I think we have... Oh, Netflix news. We're going to talk about Netflix. Isn't that exciting? Am I selling this? I'm doing my best.
You're not. They're doing a new thing, and it's cool.
Yeah. And then finally, the last thing we're going to talk about is the new Batman movie, the animated movie that shows the return of the Caped Crusaders as played by Adam West and Burt Ward has come out. Jake hasn't seen it, but I did. And I want to talk about it a little bit because it has some interesting concepts, and they're already working on the sequel, so it warrants discussion. So, first things first, Star Wars Rogue One.
Oh, man. And I'm so excited for this. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, clearly. Man, Rogue One, it looks like it's going to be finally the perfect mix of dark and gritty reboot style that people have been going for. I know this isn't a reboot, but it is kind of a take on,
sure,
like it is a prequel,
yeah,
of course, but it's we all knew it was kind of happening in tandem with the stuff that was happening in Star Wars New Hope. Like just before that, it looks so cool. The style looks cool. We talked about this a long time ago when the first trailer came out. How the just the cinematography, it feels like Star Wars still, and that's huge because the prequels, the episodes 1 through 3 did not have that, and so the last 2 Star Wars movies that we've gotten, I'm counting this one, feel like Star Wars again. Like, and I think that's going to carry through. I don't think we're ever going to lose sight of that again, at least not right now. So I'm really looking forward to it, man. It looks so cool.
I'm excited because in the trailer I got the impression that they're going to explore parts of the Empire that we hadn't seen in the original trilogy, because you get the sense, of course, that Darth Vader, the Emperor, the Stormtroopers, it's all evil. They're Nazis. You get it. Mm-hmm. But you never actually see why they're bad. I'm sure there's plenty of EU stuff on this, but I'm not going to read a goddamn book.
Well, they went into it a little bit. I mean, I know this is First Order or whatever, but I mean, clearly they killed a village of innocent people, and I guess in New Hope they killed Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen.
Where will we get the blue milk now?
Although there is a fan theory that was Boba Fett, because Vader goes and says no more vaporizing or whatever. And but whatever. Anyway, it's weird that those are the only 2 people who, when they get shot with lasers, get immolated immediately, down to the bone.
I think it was intentional. They were trying to send a message, but
yeah.
Anyway, I think the trailer shows sort of these cities, fantastic, like Star Wars type cities.
Oh,
again. But it shows the underbelly and shows how this city looks like crap. And it looks like all these different locations. You can see the war-torn places. You can see like a jungle planet. You can see a bunch of other stuff. Looks great. Again, as we mentioned before, the scale, because we're looking at a Death Star movie is what this is, basically.
And apparently Mads Mikkelsen is the one behind it, which makes sense.
Plot-wise, we got a little bit more of the woman who's been in the other trailers, who's the main character,
Jyn
basically.
Erso?
Yeah. It's an ensemble movie. You can tell it's going to be focused on her. Apparently, her father is like a big Death Star engineer or something.
Right.
I don't know exactly what he does, but according to the trailers, he's like a big guy behind the whole thing.
/ the villain in Doctor Strange.
Yes. So that's weird, especially because, again, I fucking hate that I care about continuity this bad. Okay, so Star Wars Episode 3 showed that they started building the Death Star like 20 years ago. It took 20 years to build.
Sure.
And this guy's been working on it the whole time, or was it just he was behind the original
Well,
stuff?
because
I don't know.
in the trailer, I don't know if it's a continuity issue. Because in the trailer, when the Empire first approaches him, she's a little girl, and clearly at least
Oh,
20 years has passed, right? So
I'm
I
dumb. I missed it.
assume, yeah. So I assume they're keeping that in mind. Um, but it's sort of weird. Like it doesn't seem like he wants to do it. Like that had a very. Do you remember the Gladiator when those people come to what's his face's house and kill his kid and wife?
I've
Like it
never
had
seen that
that
movie,
sort of.
so no.
What? You've never
Mm-mm.
seen? Okay, Russell Crowe. It's like the only thing that I've ever loved Russell Crowe in. It's a good flick. You're garbage,
I don't think
man.
the words love and Russell Crowe should be that close together. Can we separate those by at least like 4 words from
He
now on?
kills
Because
Joaquin Phoenix. How much better does it get? Russell Crowe kills Joaquin Phoenix.
I mean, he could kill himself. That'd be
He
great.
does. I think he. Yeah, he dies.
All right, well then,
There's no spoilers involved with that. Isn't that a Ridley Scott film?
I think
Anyways,
so.
doesn't matter. I had the same feeling. The people know what I'm talking about, where they kind of walk up, and it seemed like. Or how about this? Inglorious Bastards. When Hans Landa walks up to
Okay.
that French
Yes.
guy, it had the very
Sure.
same tense feeling.
Okay.
To me at least, and of course we only saw a little shot of it, but it just didn't seem like he wanted to go because he kind of made her go hide. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Maybe they were
Okay,
coming for
I get what you're saying.
stormtroopers though, because that's the way they roll.
That makes sense.
So,
Um, I don't have a lot more to say, honestly. I'm just
oh
excited.
man,
The battles are going to be cool. I like the idea that we're not just
December.
doing Jedi again. I'm a
Mm.
little worried about Disney taking all these Star Wars movies and all the in between, the actual sequels,
Yeah.
marvelizing it and stuff, but I don't know. I have some sort of confidence about it. From the trailers, it looks like they're letting the guy do his thing. It doesn't seem like they're just trying to do another Star Wars. It seems like they're telling a story in the Star Wars universe, but it's not like the same old thing. Next, though, is a movie that now I'm more concerned about, and that is Power Rangers.
Oh, oh,
I,
buddy.
okay, so the first trailer for that came out.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about this more than we should have in the past, just because I'm a Power Rangers fan, so I wanted to talk about it, but we've probably given it too much screen time at this point. But here we go again. Power Rangers, the first trailer came out. So the first impressions are, looks like Chronicle,
Looks like
which
garbage.
I'm not the only person to make that comparison. And the writer of Chronicle came out and said the exact same thing, which is interesting because I think he also did some of the early drafts on Power Rangers, which kind of makes sense. But I don't like that aesthetic personally. That's just me. I don't like how it looks. I don't know how to.
They're like the fucking Breakfast Club, and then they're like, I guess we're mining this wall now. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Okay, the Breakfast Club comparison, I don't mind that. That's fine. I don't care. They're teenagers with attitude. Of course, they're in detention.
I've never been in a detention setting like that. Ever.
Well, you don't. You'd be a terrible Power Ranger then. You don't have enough attitude, and also you own more than one color clothing. So
Yeah, why did they have to be monochromatic? I never understood that.
I don't know. But anyway, they clearly go to this quarry or something, or I don't know. It's a meteor. I don't know. And Billy, it looks like I actually like Billy. He is a nerd in this. I'm glad they didn't like totally get rid of that characterization. He helps them blow a hole in it, and they get the power coins out, which don't look like coins. That doesn't bother me that much.
They look like what were those things? They're like little crystals in like it's got to be like the third or fourth time they did dinosaurs in Power Rangers. The one with Sledge is the bad guy. The kids watch it. It's awful. It's awful.
The new one, Dino Charge, the new one.
Is that new? I don't know. I don't know at all because
I don't know.
they have like it's like little crystal things. It looks like that.
They've done dinosaurs a lot. Jeez, they did Mighty Morphin. They did Dino Thunder. Now Dino Charge.
Mighty Morphin, and the Ninja one right after that. Those are the only ones I accept as canon. Everything else is shit.
No, Zio's good.
Fuck
Zio's
Zio.
good. No,
Fuck
Zio's
Zio.
great.
No, fuck Zio. Fuck it in its face.
In Space was good.
Fuck its face in space.
Zero
gravity face fucking.
Wild Force was good.
Wild
SPD
Force
was good.
Do I buy that for $19.99 at midnight on Comedy Central via phone?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wild Force.
Anyway,
Kimberly has her tits
oh,
out.
porn. You're talking about porn. I
That's
got you.
awful.
And then,
Were they just tigers and shit? Ow,
okay, so
jungle animals.
the lead, I think, from Wild Force is on trial right now for killing a burglar with a sword.
That makes
So,
sense to me.
yeah. Anyway, so the Power Rangers trailer. You don't see Zordon, you don't see Alpha 5, which is fine. It's a teaser trailer. I didn't expect it. But Jake and I actually got onto talking the other day. What are they going to make Zordon look like? Because you can't just
Uh,
have Heisenberg head in a tube. If you don't know, oh, why can't I remember his name now? I'm a terrible person. From Breaking Bad. I love him.
You
He's
do?
the dad, Malcolm in the Middle.
Bryan Cranston?
Bryan Cranston. Yes, Bryan Cranston is Zordon.
Yeah.
And we're talking about how do you do that because
You know
you
what'd
can't
be
just have
funny? You know what'd be funny? If it was just a bag of blue meth that wiggled.
they take it very seriously. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd watch that. But I
And
was
then,
thinking the only way you can realistically do it and not have it be laughable. You can't do head in a tube.
yeah.
Just glowing blue orb, maybe in a tube or just floating kind of holographically, and just whenever he talks, it kind of pulsates. Because you can't do Malcolm in the Middle head and have me not laugh at it unless that's your goal. In which case, sure, do it. But I don't think that's what they're going
Oh
for.
man, and then Rita Repulsa was like floating, like blowjob ghost in Ghostbusters.
Man, this is like the third week in a row you've brought up Blowjob Ghost. You doing good? You having some
I don't know.
working
Maybe
through
it's
some stuff with Blowjob
there's some
Ghost?
stroke things happening, and it just keeps
Yeah.
replaying over my head. But no, she's like laying over top of the Kimberly or whoever that bitch is. Maybe it's Trini. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was a
like
little
it.
weird. In fairness, Rita is like a space witch, so I
Whatever,
get what they're
man.
going for.
It's
But
not. It's. I'm getting more disappointed every time I see it.
maybe
And
I
then
don't
the
know.
armor, how it works. It's Iron Man.
A little bit. Some people are complaining about how they have powers outside of the suit form.
I
That
don't
doesn't
like it
bug
as
me.
much as they have it.
It's just
Like they're obviously enhanced by it. Like no one, like Zach beats up putties through combat dance.
yeah. No, is that Zach? No,
That's
that's
Zach. No, that's Zach.
oh,
He
is it?
definitely does
I think
that.
he calls it hip hop keto, by the way.
Yeah, I mean in the
So
original series, not this trailer. I don't know what the fuck this trailer was about.
yeah.
Um, I know that no, it was Zach because he's the only black kid, right? Or is another one in the
No,
new
that was
one in
him
the
in the
new one
original.
in the new one in the movie?
Oh,
Is there more
oh,
than
oh,
one
oh.
black kid? Because I feel like they changed it around. I could be wrong. Anyways,
I
he
don't.
like headbutts someone,
Yeah.
right?
Anyway,
Yeah, and then he
so
breaks
Billy.
like a fucking like a sink.
Yeah,
Eh,
I don't know.
they should
I
have
don't know.
karate fight skills, but like not they're not bulletproof.
I did like that it looked like Bulk tried to headbutt Billy and he just went down immediately. That was kind of funny. That made me
Yeah,
laugh.
maybe that was it. I don't know, man.
And then did you notice? I know it's just a teaser trailer, but I think their market testing showed people didn't like the suits because they didn't even fully show the suits in the trailer.
Oh no,
I think
no,
they know. They know it's bad. If they do a
no.
sequel, if it does well enough, they'll probably redesign the suits and do
I hope this
kind of a CM
fails so
thing.
they stop.
See, you haven't even seen it yet. Maybe it'll be good. I don't know.
No, there's no chance of this. I've seen too
Okay,
much. It's over. It's
sure.
over. Can you tell I'm not excited about this?
I had an inkling, but I wasn't positive. I think
Like,
I thought I was negative about it, but you are just trashing it
it's
immediately.
so bad. I'm not. I just. You know how people were like, Ghostbusters the remake is ruining my childhood.
Okay.
No, that was obviously not the case. This is ruining my childhood. That's how bad this is.
Okay, original Power. I like Power Rangers, but it's not like quality television anyway.
No,
So
no,
it's
no. Go back in my timeline and you will see that this raped my childhood.
oh, okay.
There's a
Whatever you
7-year-old
say.
me in an alternate timeline, like T2 timelines, like Terminator. There's an alternate
Okay.
me 7 years ago. After I see this in my adult life, it splits off, and I will feel raped just in a corner somewhere. 7-year-old me after I watch Power Rangers, and I had the Zords and shit. That's gonna trigger me forever. This is gonna rape my childhood, Hugo.
You have the most white people problems I've ever fucking heard. Anyway, I think that's all the trailers that we had for right now. No, do you want to talk about Iron Fist now, or do you want to wait till later?
Iron Fist is fine. We can talk about Iron Fist.
Okay, Iron Fist. The trailer for Netflix's Iron Fist came out,
Yeah.
and don't have a lot to say. We talked about it a little bit in our Luke Cage live stream, but overall, looks like a good show.
Yeah.
Things I noticed: Madame Gao. We assumed she was going to be in it. I don't know if she'll be the main villain or if she'll just show up, but obviously she ties into all the mystical Chinesey. Is Chinesey racist to say?
I don't know. I
She
don't know. I do know that Hogarth is going to be a big player in this though, according
mhm,
to rumors.
sure. Um, the effect they do on his fist was cool. That's hard to do.
It
It's
glows
oh,
inside, which I like better than
yeah.
it.
Then
It had more
flame
of a.
fist.
It had more of a. The power comes from him rather than the power is the fist, which is
Sure.
kind of the feeling I had from Iron Fist before. So
Okay.
yeah, I think that effect will work really well. And
Yeah.
the guy seems likable. It seems like they're gonna crack some jokes every once in a while.
Sure.
Again, they didn't show enough for us to really make a big determination. But yeah, it looks all right. It should be better than Luke Cage, which is getting sort of poo pooed. Although it was good and corny and it was fun, but it wasn't Daredevil, and it certainly wasn't Jessica Jones. So
No, it's
it.
still good though. My mom, for some reason, my mom super white, super duper white, loves Luke Cage.
Oh, you know why
Don't
she loves
understand.
Luke Cage.
She told me
Oh,
she
Mike
thinks Mike
Coulter's hot.
Coulter's hot.
Oh yeah,
So
no, I think Mike Coulter's hot. I'd
I
rub
mean,
him.
he is. He
I'd
is. Well,
oil him
that's the
down.
point. Anyway, so yeah, Luke Cage looks good. We'll talk about that, or not Luke Cage. Sorry, Iron Fist. Iron Fist looks good. We'll
Yeah,
talk about that
yeah,
more
yeah,
as more
yeah.
trailers come out.
Although Danny is not as hot as Luke Cage. Just throwing that
No,
out there.
well, it depends on what you're into.
No, it doesn't. Mike Coulter's objectively just
Okay.
like his pec, like just one of his pecs is for some reason the way they're formed. You know Terry Crews?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he can do the Terry Crews thing with
Probably.
his
He's in pretty good
titties.
shape.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
so moving on to Warner Brothers.
Oh,
J.K. Rowling, is it Rowling or Rowling? I don't
I always
know.
thought it was Rowling, but who knows over there? Because I mean, like, there's a city called Leicester, but
Okay.
it's spelled Leicester
Oh, that's
or
terrible.
Leicestershire. Like,
Okay.
you just say Leicester, they just like crop out the middle of that word. So yeah, it could be anything. We don't
Well,
know. There's no one that knows. I don't even know if J.K. knows what her last name is.
I don't know. I'm glad we seceded. Anyway, so she has claimed that they are going to do five Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them
No,
films. Of course, the
no.
the first one coming out this year. That is a terrible idea. And you know what? I'm a moderate fan of Harry Potter. I read some of the books when I was younger. I don't really remember them. I enjoy all the movies. Every once in a while, I'll crack it out. If it's on TV, I'll watch a
You'll
couple
you'll
minutes of it or
crack
whatever.
you'll
I'm not like
crack
a
it.
super.
You'll crack it out.
You know what I'm.
Do you
You know what I'm
do you
saying?
do crack while watching Harry Potter? It's a
Oh yeah,
weird pastime.
yeah. It makes you feel like you're really in wizarding school,
Except
except it's a meth lab.
it's just
So
crack.
yeah.
I get it.
Anyway,
This it seems like too much, right? It seems like
yeah,
they're gonna Pirates of the Caribbean themselves.
they're totally gonna. And you know, I wouldn't mind other Harry Potter universe movies with
Right.
different things. That's fine because it's kind of a cool universe. I get the appeal. But five with this guy, why? And apparently the rumor is they're seeding. You see, in World War II, what happened in the wizarding world, as far as I understand, there was also a wizarding war going on, and they had their own wizard Hitler. Basically, I
They
forget
had
the guy's
Wizard
name.
Hitler.
They had a wizard Hitler.
I hope it's Wizdler.
It's not. He has. It's like starts. I feel like it starts with a G, and I'm sure someone in the comments will be like, "Oh, excuse me, his name is Griswold or something." I don't know, but I
Wow,
guess they name dropped him in the trailer.
that was
So
a harsh harsh impression of a Harry Potter diehard fan, Hugo.
I
That's
I spent a lot of time.
a large part of our base.
I spend a lot of time on the internet, and certain fandoms I can't stand, and it's not just if you're. But for some reason, Harry Potter super fan people.
Yeah,
Ugh.
they're like, "Oh, I remember I got I said Specto Patronum wrong. I don't remember
Yeah,
how I said it,
I think it's
but
Expecto
maybe
Patronum.
that was it. See, maybe that was it,
Yeah,
and they just lost it.
yeah.
They're like,
This is true of all
that's
fandoms, by the way.
not how it's said. You're this is what that spell would do." And they're
Yeah.
like, "I don't know. I don't
I feel
know."
the same way about Doctor Who fans on the internet too. Some of them are insufferable.
And you and I are huge Doctor Who
Yeah,
fans, but it's
yeah.
like you don't have to lord that over people. You don't have to
No,
be a
who cares?
cunt.
Anyway, so five of those, and apparently They might be doing young Albus Dumbledore, which is a stupid idea.
You
Uh,
make your universe so small when you do that shit.
yeah,
The
well, in
the best
fairness,
way to do that is kind of what, well, I guess it depends on how they pull it off. If he's a character that you have a long conversation with, nah. But like when The Office had David Brent in it, that's the
sure,
perfect amount. When you just have a
okay,
quick cameo and a short conversation in an elevator. Just
sure.
done. Oh, rip the band-aid off. Oh, who was that guy? Oh, that's Albus Dumbledore. Oh, cool. Fan service. Like that's all you need. But if it's any more than that, like divorce yourself from those characters.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want them to reuse stuff like that, but
No, no.
I don't know. Not super excited for that. I think Warner Brothers is honestly trying to cover their butts because they're now aware that the DC
Oh yeah.
stuff isn't working. Especially,
Oh
oh my
yeah.
God, they announced the extended edition of Suicide Squad. They're
We
doing it
told you this was
again.
gonna happen. We told you, and I will watch it, but I will not pay for it.
No, this
Allegedly.
is this is ridiculous. I can't believe they're doing this again.
I
You'd
can.
think
I told you it was gonna happen in that review of Suicide Squad. I told you it was gonna happen.
You'd think after this happening twice, now they'd get their shit together and be like, maybe we should just kind of let the directors do their thing, because clearly what we're doing and going into the editing room and saying, hey, the focus group said this, this, and that, do this, this, and that.
I'm gonna
You'd
have
think
a
they'd say
really hard time paying for Wonder Woman.
it's gonna be rough. I'm staying away opening weekend. I'll listen to the reviews and see if I want to check it out legally or not. But
Allegedly.
yeah. Speaking of piracy, actually, and what studios can do to prevent it, Netflix is taking a step in the right direction, and it's a great idea. Netflix is going to be doing offline viewing. So what you're going to do is you'll say, "Hey, I want to watch Daredevil. I have a plane ride next week,
Sure.
but I don't really want to pay for the Wi-Fi, or the Wi-Fi on planes isn't good enough to watch Netflix. So I'm going to download all of Daredevil and watch it on this plane, and you just watch it on the app or whatever on your tablet or your
And
computer."
I assume it has like a limit of time that it will stay, like the download stays, or what?
I would assume so. They haven't talked about their details yet or anything, but I guess this is coming next year. I'm not exactly sure. I would assume it's only going to be on their own stuff. I assume it's only going to be on Netflix originals. I can't imagine they went to Viacom and said, "Hey, we're going to let people download your shows and
Yeah,
watch them
that's.
on the
I
tablet."
mean,
But
well, I guess you're paying for the subscription if you pay for a cloud server
sure,
to kind of keep stuff, and then you could be like, okay, here's the cloud, and then they can just like have a timer on that to when they let you access the file. I think that's reasonable.
I assume it'll stay for a certain amount of time, or you'll have a size limit as to how
Well,
much you can download at
like
once.
when you rent something on Amazon, for instance, you have 30 days to watch it from the time you purchase it, or from the time you start it, you have 3 days.
Okay,
You know what I mean? So
sure,
so I mean, you could work something like they might be taking sort of that model where you don't obviously you won't have to rent it or anything, but it could stay active on your file. Like it might have a timer inside the video file. Be
sure,
like, okay, it stops working after this time, and you just encrypt it, and it'll be fine. And you won't be able to rip that sort of thing.
yeah.
Especially if you have to use it through the native player in Netflix, but it's offline, and it totally
hmm
works. But
Here's the
then
I
yeah,
respect them for doing this because I'm sure they know the people who work there are tech savvy enough to know no matter what we do, our stuff's going to end up on a pirating website.
hmm
That's just how it is. So let's just make it more convenient for people to take stuff anyway via the service itself. And that's a great idea. No matter how much DRM you put on something, at the end of the day, if it plays on a screen, someone can rip it and put it online for free.
right.
It's just what's going to happen. And big major studios and television companies
They don't
for
understand.
they don't understand.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, your stuff's going to end up online. Right now, if you named an obscure, weird movie to me, I could probably go find it online, as long as it's not like a lost film from the 20s or 30s or
Sure.
something.
But anything that's come out in the last 10 years, you could easily get.
Oh yeah, like even weird, obscure movies. I'm trying to think, what's a weird one? Neil Breen is not. Well, no, that's kind of a cult movie
Zombie
thing.
strippers
Sure, you could find that online and download it in 20
by
minutes.
you bull.
It's the
He's
way to
awful,
fight
by the way.
the way to fight piracy isn't to directly go after piracy. It's to
Right.
look at your own distribution and pricing models and say, okay, how can we make this cheaper for people to get and more
It's
convenient?
the same. It's the same way you attack drugs. You legalize people having the thing they want, and then you undersell or make more convenient the thing they want. That's all you got to do. Like downloading, pirating something because of peer to peer. The downloads are very slow. Allegedly, I wouldn't know. You have to go through third parties. You have to use these different programs. Sometimes there's viruses and shit. You have to use a VPN if you don't want to get caught, and you'll still maintain your internet service. Again, all of this I wouldn't know from firsthand experience. I've read about this on Wikipedia. But if I could just go to my Netflix that I already have and be like, yeah, I'd like to keep this and watch it on a car ride where I don't have, I don't want to use my data limit. Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, I'll do that instead of downloading it and putting it on a device. Super easy.
Yeah, for sure. So good on Netflix. Hopefully it'll spur some change in other industries and they realize, okay, maybe we just need to rethink how we're doing things.
The NFL, I know you're not into sports, but it kind of bleeds into this. The NFL the other day, if you ever watched an NFL program, they say, like, you cannot redistribute this without express written consent from the National Football League or its properties or whatever. Sure. And you literally can't do that. They will shut your shit down immediately. So the Carolina Panthers, I believe, which is an NFL team, their Twitter account, and so their social media manager was tweeting play-by-play of the game, and the NFL's like, you can't fucking do that. Like, you can't show GIFs of the play-by-play because that's the footage, even though they're one of the NFL teams. So that's how much. So what the Twitter account ended up doing is the player's name is Kelvin Benjamin. Anyways, he made a catch, so they just tweeted Kelvin Benjamin catch.gif. So
that's good.
That's the type of shit though. Like, that's the sort of short-sightedness that people don't understand. Like, does the NFL realize that I can go on YouTube and find NFL streams for every game every week? Do they know that I can do that? Because I can.
I don't know.
Allegedly.
It's ridiculous.
Allegedly.
I don't understand, like, even from a marketing perspective, do they not understand so many people are on Twitter, and if they started seeing, like, amazing plays
they would
for their
tune
games?
In. Right. Like,
so
they just started streaming Thursday night games on Twitter. Best idea they've ever had. Yeah. Best idea. Their ratings the other day, because they had they streamed on, I think it was Yahoo Sports or CBS Sports for free. They streamed online. They play a game in London every year.
Yeah.
It had 33 million offshore views.
Wow. That's crazy.
Amazing for offshore views of an NFL game, including on the streaming service. They had 11 million views in the US of that streaming service. And that doesn't include any of the TV. So that doesn't include the TV in the UK, the people in the stands, or the TV in the US. Because it was in England. They played at like 8 o'clock in the morning, our time, Eastern.
That's nuts. I cannot believe how stupid some of these executives are when it comes to putting their content behind walls.
Absolutely insane. Like, if they would just sit down and ask people, like, our age, hey, what do you want out of a streaming service? This is the type of thing they would get. And I think Netflix is the only one doing it right now. HBO Now is also very good.
Yeah. Hulu isn't as bad as people give Hulu a bad name, but the commercial-free option for like $12 a month, it's not too bad. It's
I don't really like they need more programming.
Yeah, they do. Some of their originals are actually pretty good. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime I have. I watch Doctor
Amazon
Who
Prime
all the time.
has some good originals. That Transparent show about the guy who comes out as trans to his family. That's a pretty good show. Man from In the High Castle is okay. Hulu actually did a really good series a while back called 11/22/63, something like that. It's the day that JFK got assassinated, based on the Stephen King book.
James Franco. Oh, I was gonna say James Franco.
Yeah. James Franco plays the main guy in it. It's a time travel conspiracy. It was actually really good. It was a good show. Like, if someone had showed me this and said, "Oh, look at this new Netflix original," I'd be like, "Oh my God, Netflix did it again! What a good show!"
Right.
But it happened to be from Hulu, so check that out if you haven't seen it, or pirate it, whatever.
Allegedly.
Yeah. All right, so finally, the last thing I think we're going to talk about is this new Batman animated film that came out recently, Batman Return of the Caped Crusader, or something like that. And it's the 66 Batman with Adam West and Burt Ward, and one of the Catwomen is in this.
Is it the actual Burt Ward? Because he's like 100 years old.
Oh yeah, it's the real people.
Nice.
And Burt Ward was my favorite part of this movie. He nailed it. They totally get it. It's so funny. So for starters, it opens up. The animation is actually really good, way better than The Killing Joke was. I think we talked about The Killing Joke when that came out and how that fucked up.
I haven't seen it again. I haven't seen it not again yet. I'm hearing so many bad things still from people that really love the animated Batman. So yeah,
It was a bummer. I told you that
yeah.
Batman
Oh, we talked about
has
it.
sex with Batgirl, right? That's
Right. Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Stop it, Bruce
Does
Tim. Stop.
Adam now? If Adam West Batman had sex with Batgirl, that I buy.
Sure, that'd be fine. But anyway, so it opens up, nice animation, and it has one of my favorite, I think, openings to an animated Batman thing ever. It's really great. It's Batman, and he sort of breaks through comic book covers, and as he breaks through them, it recreates them. It's hard to describe, but it's a very great opening sequence. It's awesome, and it has the classic na 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 na
Oh,
na
that's
na.
cool.
It's very self-aware. It knows what it is. It opens on Bruce Wayne in the manor with Burt Ward doing ballet, and
Why?
because it helps dexterity or something. I don't know. Clearly, it's just a joke to get Robin doing ballet in front of Batman. You get it. Um, the cast is good. I mean, you can tell they've aged, but they still do well. However, the people they got to play the other villains, which they're dead now, so they couldn't get them.
Right.
It seemed like they said, "Can you do the 1960s Joker laugh?" And then he did it, and they're like, "You're hired," without asking him to actually read a line. It was super weird. So
Did they
every
still
time,
have the cool signs
yes,
everywhere?
oh, yes,
good.
yes, they did.
That's the best part.
They made jokes about that too because the premise, it's a little more than this, but basically, Catwoman doses Batman with a mind control thing that's supposed to make him evil.
Okay.
But it doesn't work at first, but over time it starts working. And part of the joke, and this is a brilliant, brilliant bit, by the way, is that as Batman 66 turns evil, he starts acting more like modern Batman. Which
That
is great.
funny.
That's a
I haven't seen
brilliant,
this,
brilliant
so.
premise. So, like, for instance, they're talking to the commissioner in his office,
Sure.
and then he turned around, and Batman was gone out a window. He's like, "That's so unlike Batman." And a lot of there were gags like that. At one point, they're on a space station because it's that kind of movie, and he puts on what do they call it when it's you're punching someone but it's metal, brass knuckles. He puts on brass knuckles.
That was the
and
worst description of brass knuckles I've ever heard. When you're punching someone but it's metal.
Yeah, metal punch. You get it.
Metal
like Iron Fist. Anyway.
Oh no.
He goes, line from the 80 whatever year, Batman, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. And then he starts punching the villains with brass knuckles.
That's a pretty good line.
Instead of like bam, pow, it would say like fracture. So I love the setup. It's very funny. They have references to the 60s, whatever. Again, was the 66 film in 66? Was that? I don't remember. Anyway, they have references to that where people would, you know how in that movie they would sort of disassemble, dehydrate into a pile of powder? They did that again. No. They had villains from the whole 66 show, even though they didn't have lines. They had like Egghead, that weird redhead Mr. Freeze, bunch of other stuff.
Did the shark make an appearance?
The shark did not make an appearance, although a lot of those funny type of gadgets, like
the shark exploded, so I guess.
Fair enough. Did you know
that the first time I saw that, I thought the spray made the shark explode?
I do remember that. You've told me that.
Like, it doesn't... if you've not seen the original Batman movie, you have to see it.
It's on Netflix. Check it out.
There's it's the best. It's so funny. Hugo and I watched it together. We might have to do like a riff tracks of that sometime or something. Or just, I don't know. That'd be fun to hang out where we just watch that with everybody on Netflix. That'd be super fun. But, he sprays it with shark shark repellent.
Yeah.
And it's like attached to his leg, which, I mean, Batman would his leg would be shredded immediately. Because he's on a rope bridge off of a helicopter. I'm not making any of this up. It all happens. And so he's punching the shit. The shark sprays it and it falls in there and then it explodes. And then like a whole scene goes by and then they explain later that it was a mine shark. So for like 5 minutes, you're like, why did that shark explode? It's so weird.
Yeah. So
hilarious.
In the movie, something they just nailed the. It's not really a parody because the original was self-aware. It knew it
Right.
was ridiculous and funny, but they amp it up even more so, where they try and give Batman an antidote to the evil Batman stuff, but he had already taken a bat anti-antidote pill, and
Wait, why did he take an anti-antidote pill?
because he liked being evil. Once he started turning evil, he liked to be
Oh,
evil. So
why
he
is
was
that a
trying...
thing that he had ever produced?
Exactly. Well, that's the joke. It's a very funny movie, and they're already actually working on the sequel in which
Nice.
William Shatner will be playing 1960s Two-Face, which is interesting because Two-Face was never on the show. So now they're going to start doing modern villains in the 60s, which is a great idea. And I like that they picked William Shatner because in theory, if Two-Face had been a character on the show in the 60s, William Shatner could have played Two-Face. So I like that
Right.
they're doing casting that could have worked then, but now. I love that idea.
Rad. Love
I
it.
guess originally in the show, Clint Eastwood or something was supposed to play Two-Face, but it never materialized because the show got canceled or something. But
It's okay. I actually think like over time that like Shatner was up here in the craziness, and then at some point Eastwood overtook him.
sure,
It's just been working out. So I mean,
I think he apexed when he gave Bradley Cooper that baby doll. And said, Here,
no,
this is a
he
real baby."
apexed. He apexed when he started yelling at imaginary Barack Obama in that chair.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like how do you not? How does like a man in a clown suit not pull him off with a large cane? Like when that
Yeah.
happens.
True. I don't know. But anyway, I'm excited for the sequel. The first one was very funny, very self-aware, great celebration of Batman overall.
Where is it
And
available to watch?
Where
Where did you watch it? Allegedly.
where did I watch it allegedly? And from a bay of pirates. So
Allegedly.
yeah, it's available on streaming services. You can get it at Redbox or
Oh, okay.
I'm sure Amazon. You could order it like through their streaming. But it's out on DVD right now. So if you want to rent it or whatever, or if you want to go type things into your Google machine and
We don't know how that works. We don't have no
Well,
idea how.
I don't know how that works.
Do you
could
need an
always do
internet
that.
connection to pull that off? I'm not.
Oh,
aware of...
who knows? It's a series of tubes. Anyway, so I think that's it for this week.
Yeah.
You can always follow us on Twitter at @TheRealUnpop. We have a social media manager who handles that now, so we are not responsible for anything that they tweet. They tweet nudes. They're not my nudes.
What if they are your nudes?
I'd be like, how did you get those?
Sneaky social media manager. You can also
Yeah.
subscribe to the channel and get more of these. We also do live streams every once in a while when we big movie events. So Doctor Strange, for instance, will have a live stream attached to it. Usually it's the like a week and then the nearest Sunday after that week, so everyone has a chance to see it.
Yes, the next one we are doing is going to be for Netflix's Black Mirror Season 3.
Which
I don't know what day
that.
that... I want to say it's like the 21st
20-something?
or something.
Sure.
It's a Friday.
Oh, so
Google it. You have a computer. Fuck you guys. So thanks, everyone.
Roughly the 30th, we will be doing that.
So, thanks, everyone. Until next time, I'm Hugo.
I'm Jake.
This has been Unpopular Culture. See y'all next week.
Y'all?
Y'all,
See
I'm
ya.
trying it out.
Didn't work. It didn't stick.
All right.
We'll do better next time.
Redacted.